Honor us with a tale of your home to gladden our hearts.
There was the time I managed to stop the spread of paradisty measles before it became epidemic. For a while, things were touch and go. 6 people came down with it. Fortunately, I was able to isolate the endoplasmic virus and replicate it in order to form an antibody. Even then, it wasn't altogether clear I could create an effective vaccine.
Doc, I thought you did your cultural research. They just gave you a prompt to boast. You should understand how that works in this culture. You should know how to tell tales of your exploits and that this is expected of you.
And not as a little weenie academic.
Personally, I think this story would have been far more interesting if the doc had told it as if it were a war story. Talk about how the virus had already laid 6 men low, and he fought with it for 3 days and 3 nights straight.
You may have deceived them with your tricks. But the king is old and desperate for hope. And the rest are just fools.
You have nothing to worry about, Unferth.
Except for the people who keep gluing roadkill to your face.
We shall see.
So, as the doc prepares to fight Grendel, we meet up with Freya again.
The nights here are cold. I wanted to make certain you were comfortable.
Oh, so it's one of those games, eh?
Yeah, pretty much a BioWare game.
So, does that make Unferth the gay option, or Hrothgar?
Good thing Harry never got to this scene. I don't think he would have known what to do.
It's me, Hornio!
Bring me 15 rat tails to continue.
Please don't be the sewer level. Please don't be the sewer level. Please don't be the sewer level.
And if the doc had made it here 15 seconds faster, she'd be in a bikini.
Sometimes I believe I can see the moment of my own death. It comes in battle, I think.
You know what's really sad about all this? This conversation with a 1-episode NPC talking to the doctor has more depth than Chakotay's entire romantic history and the length of the entire show.
The power of Picardo, baby.
I'm glad I could help.
Before combat, it is most important to stay warm.
I know how to cast Fire-Aga.
Well, you've done an excellent job with the fire, I'm sure.
After Freya leaves, Grendel comes a-callin'.
Holodeck to bridge.
We're monitoring you.
Oh god, did you listen to all that? So instead of Crispin Glover, it turns out to be a giant glowing octopus.
Better 1, better 2. Pretty much the same.
Emergency! Get me out of...
Sick bay report.
I think he's become a reference gag, ma'am.
So the doc gets repaired during the commercial break. Besides backstory for the characters, this scene was useful because Doc got some special readings, which allowed him to figure out what's going on. Although they do take way too long to figure out that this is a life form. By this point in Star Trek, everything was a life form. This was not a huge shock like it was in the early days of the original series when they found something that wasn't a human.
It's changing direction. It's like it's avoiding the containment field.
I mean, come on. By this point, whenever you see any kind of energy form or rock or plant or something acting weirdly, intelligent life should be in your top 3 guesses.
So it turns out to be Star Trek Cliché 248-C, non-organic energy being.
Is it Tuesday already again?
We locked them in a containment field and began to experiment on them. If my people were taken like that, I know what my response would be.
And in fairness, she's 100% right. When this does happen later, she will be royally pissed.
And rightly so.
Well, this is the culmination of your work, and guess what? You're going to be right here to collect the final data.
Shields have failed.
So they plan to make an overture of peace to this being by offering the remaining crew member of this being to Grendel, aka the light octopus who is not Crispin Glover.
As opposed to the light octopus who is Crispin Glover.
Well, that's just Amanda Seyfried. So, the doc sees Grendel coming and decides it's time to fight him. Well, I guess I better match what the movie did.
No! No!
What's that over there?
No! No!
So Doc returns to holodeck, meets Freya again, but she actually remembers him, but then Unferth shows up and kills her. This character apparently believes that Beowulf is now in league with Grendel. I guess it's a flexible program that has lots of options that aren't in the original story.
Can I die happily with your name on my lips?
Oh no! Now I'm going to have to reload for my last save point! No!
I'll always remember you, Fry. Memory deleted.
The Doc really seems to forget that these are just NPCs. I guess on one hand, it's a nice touch that he's identifying with her, but she isn't a person and he should understand this.
Wouldn't it be even more moving if we saw the Doc at the end replay this scene one more time and she greets him just as she did the first time, having no memory of him?
Reminding him that he doesn't have a bunch of fellows on the holodeck, that he really is unique and alone.
Also, apparently Freya has crack for armor. I see that shitty yarn mail.
Yarn Mail pisses off-screen Kim off like you wouldn't believe.
So we cut to Unferth back at... Wait a minute. He brought the thing back here? Isn't that why he just killed Freya? To try to stop the Doc from bringing the talisman here? What is with people bringing stuff back to Heorot that they don't want there?
Unferth really is qualified to be a Voyager crew member at this point. So the Doc arrives and threatens Unferth in front of everyone and just wins somehow. They don't fight. Unferth runs away. In fact, when I saw this, I had never read Beowulf, didn't know how the story goes. My first thought was that in the story, Unferth is Grendel in disguise, and him holding the torch up to Unferth is like unveiling who he really is kind of thing.
Repelled by light and laughter, the beast waits until we slumber.
It grows late. It is time to retire.
Always with you, it is time to sleep.
But no, that's not in the original story. Unferth is just a douche who's in there who doesn't believe in Beowulf, so this really doesn't make any sense why this happens like this at all.
The only reason you won't die is that I've taken an oath to do no harm.
Oh, that's gonna go over well with Proto-Vikings. Yeah, good luck with that one.
That does bother you, doesn't it? When they just do something so against their own motivation. Unferth stars in Kenobi, the series.
Grendel, I'm ready for you.
Y'all ready for this?
So he gives the alien that's missing crew member, and it returns the 3 missing crew members back to us. So we got Chakotay, not bad, Tuvok, 2 thumbs up to that, and Harry Kim.
Bad enough they gave us Harry Kim back like we wanted him, but they gave us Harry Kim wearing yet more shitty yarn mail.
So did 15-year-old off-screen Kim enjoy watching this since you were into armor and all that and you all thought Harry Kim was cute? Or did this part start to end that?
15-year-old Kim did not know how to recognize good and bad chainmail yet. 15-year-old Kim thought Harry Kim looked pretty cute in armor.
This is the depth of Kim's teenage shame, so she's done pretty well.
Yeah, good work. Would you mind telling me where I was?
Why are the best Harry Kim episodes the episodes in which Harry Kim barely appears?
Is there another episode focused on him where he barely appears?
No. So Doc and Janeway discuss things and his first away mission, and it's interesting. And we find out that Doc's not going to keep his name because the last time he heard it was when the NPC repeated it because it was the NPC's programming. And that bothered him. So in other words, we're getting character development and walk that right back, shall we? So that's Heroes and Demons. For season 1, sadly, it's a pretty good episode. And half of it is a good episode because it's about the Doctor and they're discussing something uniquely interesting. They barely get into Beowulf at all very much, though. They're playing around with it, but they keep changing what the story is, so they're not really playing in Beowulf. They just have people cosplaying as Beowulf characters doing their own thing.
I appreciate the attempt to show us a good classic work of epic literature. Of course, I know the reason they chose it was probably less out of admiration and more out of public domain.
Still, at least it's not a British romance novel. Give it that.
A truly unique tale.
So as usual, decide for yourselves. But as for me, I'm going to call this barely squeaking by on SOS VOY. And next time, well, I promised 3 episodes and I'm going to give you 4. because next week we're going to do something that's not really the holodeck, but it's a holodeck episode. Back to TNG.